things Afcon is what we're talking about. I'm Sizwe Mabena, Brian Mafokeng, if you are just joining us, as well as, well, the oldest of the brothers here, as Christoph Bongo, the best looking of the brothers as well, with me and Brian some way behind. Now, we're talking about a group that looks good from, well, on paper, let's say on paper. But really, Cote d'Ivoire won't have it easy. Equatorial Guinea, tough. They've been on the up and up over the last 10 or so years. They've hosted an Afcon. They've had some money coming into the country, which will help their football get better. And for me, Guinea-Bissau, you can't sleep on it.
Listen, I mean, if you look at Guinea-Bissau, when you talk about the previous Afcon, they found themselves in the same group with Nigeria.
Yeah.
They found themselves in the same group in the qualifiers for this Afcon with Nigeria. So two nations that know each other very well.
Who's the player that played for the most, played in France? Pascal Fendounou was it? I remember the guy. Wow, man. For me, one of my favorite players over the last day.
It shows that he's been around.
Yeah, like I say, don't be fooled by the baby face, you know? But...
how are you seeing the group, Brian? Because I know you have done your work in the group. So
For me, I believe that, I know that surely Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria will be advanced from that group. But I believe Equatorial Guinea will be one of those to run for the third best in that grouping.
Or could be the absolute
Guinea, I don't see Guinea-Bissau coming out of the group for one simple reason. For them to come out of the group, they probably need to have something like 4 points and above. So they won't get 3 points each from the match against Cote d'Ivoire as well as Nigeria. They might get something from Equatorial Guinea. So that's where my thinking is when I look at the way the group is poised. And also, when you look at the runoff towards that particular level of the competition itself, for me, I spoke to, Igor Adelani here. I spoke to him, and I spoke to some guys also in Nigeria who were talking about this generation. Say, you know what? They might not have looked good in the World Cup qualifiers, the way they were held in their 2 matches.
What, Nigeria?
Nigeria, the way they were held in their 2 matches in the World Cup qualifiers. But they have the potency to be able to cause an upset and do very well. There's a very good generation they have at the moment of Nigerians, and if they do get the right support, and also don't have politics building up to the tournament, this team is going to go far.
But I have a problem with Nigeria. When we go player by players, this Nigeria can walk this group.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong.
Yes, because they could very well finish top.
Unfortunately, like we got in South Africa, there is a change in generation where the current Nigerian generation of football, the past 3 or 4, they don't see Nigeria as Nigerians see Nigeria. I don't know if you understand. When you go to Nigeria, you land in Lagos. They don't say welcome to Lagos. They say you are in Lagos. So they don't have. We used to talk about money. It's not about money. We used to have South African players. When they stand there and they're singing the national team anthem, you feel it in your body that they're in the game.
Talking the autoimmune factor now.
So,
Nigerians.
but those young group of Nigerians, they are rich enough. They are superstars already outside Africa, Nigeria. Therefore, they don't feel the pain and the love of Nigerian football. That, for me, I think, is what's going to kill them. Are they going to qualify out of this group? Yes. But we have something like 6 teams or 4 teams they're going to get to a third. So in the group where you have Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau, Nigeria must go. Otherwise, they get
I want to ask you guys an important
something
question here that will reflect on both these countries. Based on what you say, right? Because when's the last time you saw a Nigerian star coming out of Nigeria?
Yeah, that's the thing.
When's the last time? That's it. An Ivorian player coming out of Cote d'Ivoire, not of Cote d'Ivoire blood, but having played in front of Ivorian fans,
the last one
represented Ivorian fans, and then carrying that, like you say,
remember the difference is, if you want to talk about that part, remember the difference is, I remember I was watching an interview not so long ago with Mikel Obi, when he was talking about the transition of playing in Africa and actually going to play in England. When you arrive and the sort of reception you get. And was talking about how Didier Drogba paved and opened ways for most of those that actually arrive at Chelsea Football Club. That's the difference, Chris. When you talk about the SADC region, we actually export players to the north.
To pave ways.
To pave ways for the
others.
For us. So players that are born or playing their football in the West, for an example. Let's talk about Cote d'Ivoire, for an example. Because of the lineage they have with French teams, they made a transition and leave very early.
That's good.
So they leave at a very young age.
So they don't feel home.
They represent the people.
But I'm saying most of those eventually come back and plow back in your own country.
Yes, but they don't feel. For me, I believe they don't feel the people's love and pain.
No, but the reality is, Chris, when you come from a situation where you know that I had football helped me to be who I am, you understand when you go and play and wear the colors.
Now you
who you
believe.
represent.
Let me make an example for Brian that I want to make. There's a reason Cameroon has a Patrick Mboma.
Yes.
He grew up Cameroon.
Yes.
He
Went.
played overseas, but he represents Cameroon. He's Cameroon to the core.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
He
when
played
we
in the street
when we
of
talk
Cameroon.
Nigeria, When we talk Nigerian greats, other than John Obi Mikel, who we mentioned, but he also grew up in Nigeria.
Yes.
He can speak pidgin English.
Yes.
So when he can hang out with Nigerian,
By the way,
comfortable.
we
Also, JJ Okocha before him. That's
we did
So there's
2013
change in
Afcon.
Africa now.
We did 2013 Afcon. Who coached Nigeria? It was the late
It was the boss. Yes.
the boss. The boss told them. I remember. Before it was in the semi-final, he told them one thing: you must remember you are Nigerian. I have nothing to tell about this game. We have to get in the final. We were doing the broadcasting for SABC, and they were next to the pitch. They walk out. His team talk was, "You are Nigerian."
Let me come in there, Chris.
So for me, Nigeria is a good team, but we need to, actually not only Nigeria, most of those players here, most of those countries, Cameroon, Ghana, except Egypt, Cameroon, Ghana, Mozambique, Senegal, be
But you see
home.
the
This is the
reason,
point I'm making,
the
Chris.
reason why.
Egypt, South Africa.
You see, what I'm
we
saying.
represented in the Champions League from a club point of view.
Yeah.
That way we can take our own players that play here that are South African, and we don't have to go look for some Australian kid whose father used to be South African.
Yeah.
And they can play for us. And
Yeah.
He can hang out in Soweto.
But let me tell you, let me tell you the biggest problem we have in Africa. Most of these countries you're talking, Algeria, for example, that's why they have so many players aboard in France. Because of the previous, they're the former masters.
Sure.
So you can't run away from that part.
No.
That you have though. But one, number
That's
two.
my gripe with Nigerian football. Their club
number
football
two
is actually very
No,
great.
no.
Champions
But
League and so
number
on.
two, Nigerian football has dropped. Club football has dropped immensely in
Correctly.
Nigeria. Inymbas of this world are no longer the Inyimba that you know. If you talk about the Nugu Rangers, they're no longer the level they used to be
tell you
way
why.
back in the days. But I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, Chris. What I'm saying is, this generation that is playing now, if they want to sit and earn a place in a table, and to sit and be spoken about in the same breath, you want to talk about
JJ Okocha.
your JJ Okochas and everybody else, they have to do. That is why I'm saying
We
the
want
pressure is
them
for
to
them
do
to
that.
do it. That is why they'll be. This is why I'm saying that they're going to support a lot of people because they're going to go out there and do the unthinkable because they understand the legend and they understand the story. 2013, when Nigeria won the Afcon in South Africa,
Yeah.
they didn't have most of the players you're talking about.
No.
They didn't have most of them, but that generation had a leader who told them
The
this
coach.
is what you're supposed to be. And they understood that for us to be sitting on the same table, we got to do it ourselves and do it, and that's what they did in South
Their
Africa.
coach in 2013 was like having a South African team led by Shaka. It's going to be just very South African.
Exactly.
In who leads you.
Exactly.
You know what I
Anyway,
mean? That's like a
the bottom line here is Nigeria is a good team,
good nation.
good nation, good footballing nation.
footballing nation,
Actually, I
yes.
was looking. Brian
Very
knows it
good
better than me
footballing
because Brian is
We
great
should want
with
them to do
research.
more. Club football and otherwise.
Nigeria is the second most exporting country in Africa after Senegal. Senegal at the moment they're in 6-1 in their national 61, where Nigeria is 2 with 54. Cote d'Ivoire is following with 53.
Ghana?
Sorry,
Ghana?
Ghana is number 4.
They should be number one. No, but they've got the same problem as Nigeria.
But
no one
anyway,
cares about the local
you are
game.
talking about Ghana, so they are in the Group B.
Yeah, no, Group B.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I love this group.
Oh, man.
This is a beautiful group.
Oh, man.
This is a group of death.
Oh, man.
remember- you remember-
Egypt,
you remember-
Ghana,
you remember the
Cape
comment-
Verde can play,
Listen.
and Mozambique, Jack, they can play.
You remember the comment you did when Ghana lost against Egypt in the final? Who scored the goal? Ghetto.
Rico Besson messed up.
Who scored the goal there?
Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Yeah, Ghetto Fabulous.
Ghetto Fabulous.
Yeah.
You remember that?
That's a Ghetto
That was
Fabulous.
in 2008.
Yeah,
2010. 2010 and goal.
2008.
2010 and goal.
That was
Was
2010 Angola. It was
2010
very young
Angola,
players.
yeah.
And anyway, in a group in a group B.
Yeah.
Once again, because we have 3 teams, I believe this group will create the third qualifier as well.
Why are you saying 3? You don't want to count Mozambique. You're saying Chris is going to 3 teams there.
No, I'm saying in this group,
Yeah.
we're going to have 3 teams as well qualified.
Oh, best third place.
Best third.
Yes.
So I'm seeing here Ghana and Egypt, they will top the group.
What are the chances of an upset then?
A lot.
In this group, no?
I'll tell you why.
Because you could draw and then next thing you're in trouble.
If we look at the altitude and we look at the altitude, they are playing the sea level. That's not the big problem.
Yeah.
The problem here it is humidity and the heat.
Yeah.
Most Egyptian players at this moment, you and I were, it was cold.
Oh, man.
Cold in
Man.
Egypt.
We weren't even ready.
Egypt
bro.
was cold.
We thought desert warmth.
Cape Verde at this moment it is cooler. So I'm seeing here Mozambique and Ghana, they will have advantage when we come to weather. But Egypt, just with the quality of their players playing in the Champions League.
You know what I love about
they'll go
African
forward.
football, Chris? You mentioned Cape Verde. We spoke about the likes of Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau, was it, earlier on in the other group. Upsets, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
You know,
who
that's
they
what-
play.
that's what-
Mauritania.
that's what
I remember
talk about.
Mauritania chowed us, Cape Verde chowed us, and we didn't know them. I didn't know Mauritania was a country until we played against Mauritania.
Really?
I thought it was Mauritius, and they just pronounced it as Mauritania. You know what I mean? And then they chowed us. They're like they waxed us like off the
No,
map.
but you see
They
that,
waxed us
but you see
that
the Mauritania stuff. You know the Mauritania problem was what? We became complacent.
Nah, bro.
We walked in there believing we actually have it wrapped up.
Because it's Mauritania.
And then we
Why?
got seriously
Why?
tried.
It's like we're in
But
charge
for
for
me,
this time.
you know,
Who's in charge?
If we keep on talking, we won't stop. So group, yeah.
You know, you want to talk about saying Egypt and Ghana are easy going to go through.
No.
I didn't say
believe-
easy. I just said they will go through.
I believe Egypt will go through. I believe Egypt will go through. But I'm telling you, this Ghana team, this Ghana national team, is not the same Ghana of your Stephen Appiah, of your Sam, of your Michael Essien, of your Osama Jean. They've lost some.
Can I back up my statement?
Yeah.
Can I back up my statement?
Yeah.
There are
Make me
certain
cry.
teams
Yeah,
on the continent, even the world,
yeah.
they know how to get through the groups. It's
They
not
did
because
Africa.
They
it's
didn't
not-
do it in 2021.
No, in Africa, bro.
They didn't do it in 2021.
Not in Africa.
No, in
Africa,
2021 they
no.
didn't do it.
No, just look at the qualifiers.
No, but I'm saying 2021. I mean, if you look at the qualifiers.
Wait. One important factor, guys. One important factor. At this Afcon, one
Yeah.
important factor. If you're talking nations that know football and know how to do it, is 12 champions at this Afcon.
Yes.
12
Yeah, that's it.
former champions.
Yeah.
So there's many countries that know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying Ghana 2021 didn't do it.
Come on, man.
So, my guy, I'm saying.
Where are you
I'm
giving
saying-
here?
Who?
Who are you giving number 1, number 2?
I don't know.
No, Egypt will be there,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, watch
Who's the
Cape
second?
Everyone else.
Watch Cape Verde
Anyone's
Island, my
guess.
friend.
Okay.
Anyone's-
Watch
and
Cape
also,
Verde
if
Island.
Cape Verde Islands gets their ladies out in the Stillings, those players are all going to be distracted on the field.
No, they're
chow
very
you.
good.
They'll chow you. I'm telling you.
They are very good in supporting. They are very good in
South Africa's
supporting.
playing Cape Verde.
Okay.
And every time now they catch the fans.
2013. you say.
2013, yes, first time, yeah.
They go to the quarters and on
But
derby.
listen, the Williams show was just talking about the ladies in the stands. Was it Pumlani Msibi? Yeah, the ladies. I'm like, guys, the game. Yeah, but I saw it my line. I'm like, guys, the game is on. So if their fans come, ooh,
Also, something we must never run away from. Most of the Cape Verdean players could have played for Portugal.
Portugal. Yes.
Guys,
And
there are
those are the
no
ones
more.
that
There are
you
no
opted
more.
to
There are
play.
no more a surprise package. Africa knows
Yeah.
Cape Verde can play football.
Also, as we talk in Portugal and Cape Verde, I've been, and you know, we cover a lot of COSAFA football.
Yeah.
Mozambique is on the up and up men's side.
No, they're looking very good.
Female side, just football on the, all in all, and
Cool.
beach soccer. So Mozambique could be, for me, the surprise package.
And remember,
I
the
had a
last
kid
time they
there.
played at the Afcon was
They're
in
looking good.
2010.
Yes, sir.
And the man that's sitting on that bench, Conde,
Guys, we're gonna
Conde
need to move
is a
to.
former
We have a lot of
player
groups.
at this level. At this level at
We have
Afcon
a lot of
tournament.
groups.
By eight times.
So he's just the guy that's gonna. I believe. You know what? I'm gonna go with my
Mozambique.
Mozambique brothers. Say they're gonna cause an upset in this group.
Mozambique. I'm definitely going with Mozambique. With Egypt.
Okay.
And what I love about Egypt, just so everyone knows, what I love about Egypt is what I'm trying to say about South Africa and Zambia and countries like that where the football presence within your country
Yeah.
is such that we, the people, love it.
Yeah.
The Zambians love their local football.